Yo, do us a favor and yourself a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to tap that notification bell as well so you can stay updated. Now let's get to the video.
This is iLLANOiZE Radio with Biko, Illinois Jones, and Pretty Riot going down right now.
Welcome world, welcome world, welcome world, welcome world, welcome world. It's iLLANOiZE Radio, Chicago's most valuable radio show. I'm your host Biko alongside my brother Illinois Jones. It's a special show today because, as always, we bring you all the illest guests from around the city and globe. Yeah. And today, all the way from Cali, we got Asha Imuno in the building.
What's going on, y'all?
Welcome from Cali to Chicago.
Whew.
Yes, sir.
You bundled up the right way like you been here before. On everything.
Gotta be ready, you know?
How long have you been in this? How long you been here so far? Like, this is like your
Less
first
than
day?
24 hours.
Less than 20.
And it's my first time here, so.
So did you buy your coat prior to or when you got here?
Oh, no, I had to have it before I even touched down, bro.
You did the right thing. You did the, because you came during the, you just missed that negative degree weather. Just missed it. I mean, do you experience cold like this? Have you ever experienced cold like this?
I mean, not really. I mean, like, I got family all over, but we would always time it so it's not that cold. So they told me it's that real cold. So I had to get ready, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Cali, the coldest it'll get is like 30 degrees or something like that. And
I'm
that's
outside
like,
with my shirt off.
I'm
I'm outside with my shirt on in that type of weather. I'm running around in probably just a hoodie in 35.
See, no, that's wild.
What?
I can't do it.
I could go jogging in 35.
I'm outside with a hoodie on with that tight weather.
See,
Or a short, not a small coat, not too big. See, that's the different altitudes, man, and the weather is.
Nah, I see you, because I'm not outside at all.
What was it like actually seeing real, actual snow and stepping in it?
It's a trip. Honestly, like, that's probably I mean, of course, it's so normal here, but, like, in Cali, it's specific places you go to see snow, and it's this whole thing, like, oh, my God, and it's not even real. So, like, stepping in it and just, I don't know, it's a whole new experience. I honestly love it. Like, maybe it's just because I'm just getting here. Everybody, like, as soon as me and Evan was just talking about, like, you get outside from the cold into the car and you just want to start yelling and cussing and stuff.
Like, shit,
shit, damn. Oh, I can cuss.
Turn the heat on. Did you make a snowball? Did you make a snowball and hit somebody with it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, you got to
I
do
just
that.
don't know it's coming, though. It's gone.
Okay, for sure.
You prepared. You got the gloves on.
Oh, yeah.
He got the gloves, the scarf, man, the nice coat.
Yep, the boots.
Man, he came on. He wasn't fucking around. He was like, I heard about the Chicago shit.
At all.
Wrapped up nice, you heard me?
I mean, how is it for you, making your way here through music, my brother? Like,
it's beautiful. It's life-changing. It's the dream, you know what I mean? Like, being somewhere that I've never been off the strength of the fact that people believe in what I love to do the most, and the people around me believe in it as well, is like all you could ever ask for, dog. Like, coming up in Moreno Valley, California, it's like super insulated, borderline suburban. Like, most people live there their whole lives, so just being over here is everything, man.
And it's your first time.
Yeah.
Damn. And it's to hit the stage tonight at TNK Festival at Sleeping Village.
Yes, sir.
And you headlining. Hold on, let me.
How does it make you feel like you're here to headline? Like, I'm from California. I'm in a whole nother city headlining and a whole nother event. Like this is.
It's beautiful. Like, that's honestly the best way I could put it is it's beautiful. It's like, something I'm gonna be talking about to my nephew, to my mama, my sister. They all called me as soon as I got on the plane. Like, you already done it. Like, just off the strength of the fact that I'm not in the same place that I was.
Right.
Like, it's everything.
What's some things I know you telling your peoples in California that you coming to Chicago? I know they was like, what the fuck? Hold on. They was worried about you, giving you all the rundowns in Chicago. Like, what was some of the things that you was hearing before you got here about Chicago?
I mean, honestly, like, Californians are, we can't function if it's not sunny. And that's the main thing, was like, you about to make sure you got 7 puffers on, and you got the docks, and underneath them you got some Uggs tucked into them, and all, like, are you sure you want to go right now because it's cold and etc. Like, you know, of course, like staying safe and everything too is a thing. But I'm the type of person, I keep my head down wherever I go, so it's not a deal.
Oh, that's right. I mean, you being here now, before we even tap into all things, have you tried the food? Have you gotten anything to eat yet?
Yeah. You got to tell me the name of the spot, but we went to this fire piece of spot, and what's it called? La Villa. Yeah, it was fire. And Evan put me on game, like, the real Chicago pizza is not the deep dish.
No, it's not.
It's the thin crust.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we about to get some deep dish. He's like, no, bro.
We don't eat that shit in real life.
Yeah, no.
Don't get it twisted. I'll still have a slice of deep dish, but that's not a Chicago thing.
That's like a tourist thing, right?
Still try it though.
Yeah, he was talking about the Italian beef too. Is one of the things.
Get it dipped.
Yes.
With nacho cheese. Ask for nacho cheese.
Don't get the nacho cheese.
Yeah, the nacho instead of the marinara. The mozzarella. Yeah, nacho cheese.
Oh,
tell them
for
I want
sure.
it dipped with nacho cheese. That's all you got to tell them. Don't just say it.
And don't
Bet.
say lightly
Okay.
dip. Drenched.
Okay.
And get you a bag of chips and a. You got to get you a good pop. Get you a good pop.
Pop. Oh, that's like soda.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, we got two different.
Get you a good pop. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the best. Black pepper and mild sauce on your fries.
Oh,
okay.
Matter of fact, go to Sharks or JJ's or
If
Harold's.
you get a chance to go, yeah.
Get your
sure.
Italian beef from one of them spots. Take him to one of them spots to get his Italian beef. You know, and get him
Bet.
a 6-piece too.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Get him a
Damn,
6-piece.
I'm still
How long
tripping
you
on
here
pop
for?
and soda.
How long you here for?
Couple more days. just
Oh
2
yeah,
days.
Oh
listen.
yeah, hell yeah,
Roll the
Hell
carpet
yeah.
out for him on the restaurants.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, you finna go back nice and stuffed.
You ain't gonna never want to go back to Cali. He gonna be like, nah, Chicago got some shit called mouth sauce. That shit ain't the same mouth sauce.
Over
Not that real.
Now, Asha Imuno, is that's your government name?
Asha Imuno.
Asha
That's my
Imuno.
dad. Everybody calls me Asha.
Okay,
Yeah.
because like hearing that name, I think African. Like, do you know where your ethnicity rooted from?
Oh, so Asha is a name that I took on.
Okay,
But the name comes from an Indian word for hope.
Mm.
And Imuno, so the whole idea behind my name was finding something that felt more attached to my identity, as opposed to, like, you know, people call it the slave name or like your colonial name, whatever, but also something that embodies the whole idea behind why I create, which is like giving people a sense of something bigger than, you know, whatever it is they might be experiencing in that moment, positive, negative, everything in between. Embodying a full range of experiences is kind of my whole deal.
damn, that's deep. That's deep as hell, my brother. And I got some music too. We got an exclusive coming y'all way a little later too, man. I've been playing it. Y'all gonna love it. But Florida Water is out.
Yes, sir.
Like you all the way over on the west. Florida's all the way like south. How did you even come up, with Florida Water? And even just the aesthetics of the song is crazy, man. So how did
Feel
you
the
come up?
Good looking. Without getting too sappy, it's like supposed to be a palate cleanser, Like there's this, it's actually a cologne called Florida Water. It's this like spiritual cleanser that people use. I don't personally use it, but it's like the idea of it being something where you could just like, all right, let's disarm the situation. We're getting ready to drop my album Pins and Needles. And this is one that, like, before we start dropping all of the like more just bops, shit that you could just vibe to, want to give a little bit of like context. You know what I mean? So it's like a palate cleanser.
And speaking of project, if I'm not mistaken, there's a listening party going on today.
Yes, sir.
Let
Yeah.
let the listeners know where they can pop out to for
Nah,
the
yeah.
for the listeners for the listening party.
It's gonna be at Classic Studios. The address?
Hey,
What
if you
happened?
search Classic Studios,
Oh, yeah,
it's gonna
be at-
pop up.
yeah,
They
I was
know
gonna say,
what's
yeah, it's
going
gonna be
on.
at Classic Studios 2 to 4 p.m. If you can make it, come through. RSVP capacity was met, but we just opened up some more spots. If you can make it, slide. It's first come, first serve. So
Yeah,
you
be
can see
there.
everybody there. Yeah.
Be there, and tonight,
Is
Sleeping
that
Village.
crazy that you have an event, a listening party in Chicago, and it's over capacity?
That's
Oh, hell yeah.
bro, like, it's mind blowing to me. Like, Chicago's one of my top cities. Like, a lot of my fans are here, and meeting them for the first time is like a dream. You know what I mean? Like it's people here who know my songs better than people in the city that I'm from. You know what I mean? Like,
mind blowing. Look, you know what? Asha Imuno is in the building. Look, Florida Water, we finna get into that. And then we gonna tap into, we're gonna tap into pins and needles and just talk about music in general, my brother. So y'all don't go nowhere and keep it locked. It's iLLANOiZE Radio.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl Pretty Riot, and I'm sitting pretty, starting riots right here on iLLANOiZE.
I'm gonna let you finish, but did you tell them to listen to iLLANOiZE Radio?
Every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Well, I was getting to that, but y'all made a point, so I hope y'all tune in.
Do that. I was in the whip listening to Good News. The first song on there, you say, I used to swim with my shirt at 10.
yeah,
Now I don't swim with my shirt no more.
on me.
It felt like it was and then she took my shirt off.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a lot of metaphors about this shirt, like you going into adulthood or something like that. Like, is there
Exactly.
a hidden message behind that?
That's a big part of it for sure. It's just like coming into yourself, you know, like I was a little shy, you know what I'm saying, to myself type kid, and just getting older and starting to feel myself, realize who I was in context of everything, you know, and then people around me slowly start to realize it too, type deal. You know what I mean?
The women.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
knew what it
started
was.
feeling me.
And did taking my shirt off.
My shirt
I ain't got to take it off myself no more.
At what point do you remember that, that coming towards, at what point do you remember that impacting your life? Like, you remember the age where you started to come into yourself?
Definitely in high school. Like, I put out my first mixtape, and I remember I came to school, and when I walked into class, everybody was just like, bro, like, you did your thing. Like, because people don't really, anybody who's from Moreno Valley who does any cool shit, they leave and claim the city that they moved to. So it's like, they showed me a lot of love. And from then on, it was just kind of like, gave me a little extra boost in confidence, but also just like felt like I'm doing it for a reason type shit,
And you do both. You sing, you rap. Do you produce?
Yes, sir.
And right.
That whole album, Good News, I produced, yeah.
And that's what, 14 tracks? Let me double check.
Yeah.
14. Oh my God. The whole
Collaboratively,
damn. See, and I started off as a producer. So what actually came first for you? Was it production? Were you singing first? Were you doing poetry first? What actually even sparked your music career?
I mean, at the very beginning was jazz composition and like concert band. I was like in my school's music program and just like trying to learn as much as I could on my own too, because my family was very musical. Like, I picked up trombone and then euphonium, and then like I would stay behind after school, honestly, to stay out of trouble. And my band director respected that and would just let me learn. So I started like composing. I wanted to do film score stuff, and I just didn't like the structure as much as the freedom of just being able to make beats on my own. So I started making beats, trying to get beats to people, but I couldn't starting off. So I started rapping. Exactly.
Yep. Yep. That'll do it. You try to serve somebody a beat you felt like was one of your best beats ever, and then they listen to it like, or they just don't, accept it how you want them to accept it. So it definitely will switch things up, and it's good that happened, because look what it did for you. So I mean, with your debut album coming out in 2020, that was around when the pandemic hit as well.
Yes, sir.
Did you feel that it was gonna, catch the fire that it caught, especially during a time where we were dealing with so much?
Definitely not. It was just for the love of it, honestly. Like, it was something that I felt like I always wanted to do, just to create. And when it did start to get some, garner some support and people just start showing me mad love, was like, kind of honestly caught me off guard, and began to build my community for the first time online, like whether it was like Six Pack, Spotify showing mad love, or, I was in a collective at the time and we started getting buzz, like, yeah, no.
All around. My bad.
No, you good. With your debut album coming out, like bro said, that it was a lot of stuff going on around that time. You had the George Floyd thing popping off. We were in a pandemic. It was a lot of violence, a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. Mm-hmm. And for your first debut album, a lot of artists wouldn't shed light on that, but you did with your Damage interlude. what made you want to like produce this and put this on the album?
I was pissed off. I was like, felt like I was unable to do anything or make any kind of impact. And this was the one way that I could be loud. And it was like, also just felt like the whole point of being an artist is to shed light on your angle of the times. And it's like, that was a genuine conversation that I had with my moms where I just happened to be recording. And it was like, also showing people that all the other shit that I'm talking about on the album happens at the same time as that shit. And it's like, you don't have to be the person who's constantly, quote unquote conscious or like talking at people or whatever for both to be true. You know what I mean?
I feel like you articulated like your feelings and emotions well with this project, with that project, Good
Thank you.
News. What is the influence that made you feel like I can show this vulnerability and I can show this part of me and I can do this part of me and give it to the people?
Like musically?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over. Like all of my favorites are people who have that depth. People like Pharrell, people like Kendrick Lamar, people like Andre 3000, people like Kanye West, people like Jay-Z, of course. Like, it's like, that's what I think makes the people who last the longest, is the idea of like, I'm somebody who exists in multiple facets and like, I give you the full range of the experience. I'm not a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? So for sure. But of course, like, I'm inspired by people like Stevie Wonder and, Marvin Gaye and Smokey Robinson. And like, we would have never got all of the music that we have that dips into that conscious realm unless we had stuff like the Pieces of a Man vinyl that's sitting behind you, Gil Scott-Heron, like, We Almost Lost Detroit and stuff like that. So I try to step into that lineage.
Hold on, y'all. I don't think y'all just heard this man. Gee, like, he really went in his bag. Like, he knows about Gil Scott-Heron. Man, hold on, dog, because your bag is deep. Never mind. Listen, that's cold.
Now I'm hearing you reflect on like your personal experience with music, and it brought to my attention that you mentioned that your songs reflect different sides of your personality. So before we tap into this break, like, how do you balance sharing personal experiences and like maintaining your artistic expression?
I mean, I think a big part of it is just not giving it too much thought and trying to really capture the feeling, because what's organic tends to reflect the most reality, I feel like. So it's like, trying to be a specific way, whether it's trying to be super conceptual and thoughtful and all those things, or trying to be super cool or whatever, it's like, it's going to fall flat. So, whenever I get in the studio or if I'm just on a walk and an idea comes to me or whatever, like, I first of all address God and then address my filter in a way that allows me to get out whatever comes first. And it tends to be one way or the other, or always at the same time, if that makes sense. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's why we feel it. At the end of the day, that's why we feel it, because you put feeling into it. We're going to tap into a break, music break, and then we're going to come back, right? Got an exclusive loaded up for you all. It ain't even out yet. It ain't even out yet.
That's what we do.
It's dropping this week, though. You know what I'm saying? And you may hear it again at Classic Studios. You never know. But Zigzagging, I want to jump into real quick, and then we coming right back, man. So y'all don't go nowhere and keep it locked. It's iLLANOiZE Radio. Is your business struggling? Trying to get your followers up? No problem. You can advertise with us right now. Tap that link above. Now let's get back to the show. Let's talk about your debut album, Pins and Needles. First and foremost, congrats on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Congrats on that. Your last body of work dropped in 2020, which we were talking about. And I was asking you off air, I'm gonna ask you on air. How do you separate, your debut album from your project that recently was listed? Because that's a solid body of work within itself.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the intention behind it. Like, going into Good News, it was like, I have all of these feelings that I just want to express, type thing. And it was, for the most part, just me in my room in Echo Park, like, with a couple of my closest friends, putting ideas, putting pen to paper. But with Pins and Needles, it's some of my closest collaborators across the past few years. Bouncing around to different studios, seeing different things, giving it the proper push, and like it's just a lot more of a world surrounding it as opposed to it being a collection of songs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a forthcoming moment. It's something that we haven't done so far, so it feels like the proper debut. You know what I mean?
What can listeners expect from Pins and Needles when it drop, as far as like your musical evolution? I would say
it sees me in a lot of places I've never been, at least on record. Like there's more singing, there's rapping in different ways. The production goes different directions. Like I'm always in a state of exploration, so it's kind of like a check-in of where I've been over the past couple of years.
With this project, is this the first time that you not responsible for 100% of the production?
I mean, I'm always collaborative with it, but this one is co-executive produced with my dog Zach Ezzy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the intersection that we've created together. So definitely in that way, for sure, it is.
I want to know, like, what more are you what's the word I'm looking for? When it comes to production and writing, which one are you more like really just
tapped into? Yeah.
Like which one are you like a perfectionist? Like this has to be.
I mean, I feel like honestly it's both. Like I said, I started off producing, so that's a little bit more in my bones. Like when I hear a beat, I feel a way immediately, and I'm automatically dissecting it without thinking about it. But like with writing, it's a whole different approach because I can't just make a beat anywhere or at any point during the day. I could be in the grocery store with just my phone, my wallet, and my keys on me, and something comes up, I record in my phone, and that's the beginning of a song. So it's like it's different, but I feel like my relationship with both is like they're both my kids.
Okay.
Type deal. So I couldn't pick.
Which song on the album that like solidified like this is gonna be called Pins and Needles? Like this is why this is.
It honestly started with the concept before there was any music, which is not normally how I work, but it was. I actually started Pins and Needles before Good News was completed.
Whoa.
So it was like
years in the making.
Yeah, like, but I mean, I sat on the idea for a minute before it really started to, grow legs and do its thing. But the idea was like it's this idea of being constricted in one place and the discomfort that comes with that. It's the discomfort from the inside and like maybe the mistakes that we make or the drawbacks of just growing, growing pains. But then it's also like external pressure and how you balance out the two, because ultimately it's all for the sake of our development. It's like pins and needles, the discomfort that comes as you're walking uphill, but it's also the discomfort that comes, as you learn who you are, the mistakes you make, the ways that you grow and change, the beautiful experience that it culminates to.
Brother, you different. Damn. I love how, you put meaning in your music. And again, that's why people, are pretty much attracted to it, and it's captivating more ears, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, brother.
Let's speak a little bit on, some notable artists that done shouted you out and gave you praises, such as like Smino, Jordan Ward, both of them the homies. And I would love to see a feature, hopefully sometime soon.
God willing.
But
legends.
Like, how can I say this? How do these experiences influence your approach to your music career when you get certain, notable shout outs like that?
I mean, I try to just keep it true to the feeling 100% of the time. I think those are people who exist in the world that I feel like I exist in too. So it's like definitely affirming that we're on the right track. You know what I mean? But not so much that it's like, okay, let me try to make some more stuff that sound like this or less stuff that sound like this. Cause that kind of like defeats the purpose of like why anybody would fuck with me. You know what I mean?
Don't get big-headed.
Exactly, yeah.
On the real, don't get big headed. And 2024 is in full effect. Pins and Needles is dropping in March. This joint we got, Phonics, is dropping next week on Wednesday. So what are your expectations, at least for this year? Some goals you would like to complete for this year. You already completed one.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm here in Chicago?
It's a great
start to the year.
To the year, you feel me?
I mean, yeah, I definitely want to just see more, go to more places for the first time. I want to go on tour for sure. When the album drops, I'm going to be just in exploration mode. I want to do a lot more of those collaborations. I definitely want to do some songs with more of my favorite artists too. That's the most exciting thing, is just new collaborations and stuff,
That's to collaborate. Yo, collaborate is, I'm going to say it, collaborate. That's how you grow, especially during these today times. Now, we got Phonics loaded up. And you stated that, let me pull my quote up from you. Where is it at? You mentioned that Phonics is a song that's about, relationships that get more complicated than intended. Can you, delve into that a little bit more and break that down before we get into this world premiere?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not something, I feel like the main thing was, wanted it to feel like something you could just vibe to. It's something that you would put on, maybe when you're on the E-way, maybe when you're at the house party, when you, for the girls, when you're getting ready to go out and stuff, just to feel yourself to. And I mean, with the subtext, it's this idea that you realize something might not be for you, and you just distance yourself from it to do your own thing. And it's it's the epitome of doing your own thing at the highest level. And it's we're gonna turn off all the noise and get into it. That's the feeling.
And it's got that West Coast feel as well. I mean, also, as we wrap things up, what even made you decide to put West Side Boogie on this thing in Tempest?
West Side Boogie is one of my favorite rappers from the West Coast and has been since I was in high school. So that was a no-brainer. And the way he does storytelling, you'll hear he gets into it. Tempest, same thing, is another one of my favorite artists coming up out of the West Coast. So just having that balance of the perspectives, so it, everybody gets to feel that same feeling of yeah, maybe they do got me fucked up. Maybe this is what I'm gonna do next.
I mean, tonight is going down, man. You are at Sleeping Village for Tomorrow Never Knows Festival. I mean, let people know what they can expect. It's your first time here in Chicago. It's your first time experiencing snow. So what can the fans, for their first time experiencing you on this Chicago stage, expect?
I'm definitely just bringing the raw energy. It's gonna be an experience. I like to bring everybody into the show and invite them. So it's I want everybody to come close and really just feel the energy of everything that we've been building toward over these past, not just couple months that we've been rolling out the album, but couple years that we've been working on it. And, just create a vibe. It's definitely something where I want to meet you. I don't want you to just see me, So
hopefully we can see you sometime soon again later on this year back in the city as well, turning up. Maybe a Lollapalooza, Pitchfork or something, Pitchfork Fest.
Man, say that again, bro.
Lollapalooza, Pitchfork Festival. Shit, Lyrical, what's up?
Hit us, please.
Let people know how they
gotta
can
get him in the summer, man. We can't just have him come here
in the winter. Let them experience.
No, Let him get him some of that summertime shy. I know you didn't heard about the summertime shy. It's time to get some of that. You need that vibe.
Yeah,
you need to see the shy in the summer. It's different. It's a whole different place.
Hit different, man.
For sure.
And man, the women walking around with the dresses on and stuff. That's another subject. But we gotta get you back in
dresses and booty shorts, twisted tees and plain B's. You hear me?
Hey, we definitely gotta get you back, man. If Phonics is loaded up,
no doubt.
Let people know where they can find you and introduce the joint as well. When I say find you on your social media,
for sure. One more time, my name is Asha Imuno. ASHAIMUNO. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify. Just search up my name. All my music will come up. Definitely give me a listen. Tap in. Keep touch. We're about to be doing a whole lot this year to roll out the album. So, it's just a start.